Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pathway to Profession. We got Shaz here and our new special guest of today, Rubin, co-founder of the Black Apprentice Network.
Good morning. Thank you.
So we have Rubin here today. I'll let him give an introduction all by himself. He will do that. But we're going to be talking. Well, today's podcast is going to be about all the importance of apprentice networks. So we're going to hear from one of the co-founders of one of, I think, is the best apprentice network I've joined, to be honest, and I've joined a few. I'm not even being biased because I'm just part of it, but honestly, because the amount of things they do, you'll hear all about that later. But we're going to hear about the importance of apprentice networks and understanding why Black apprentices should get involved, things like that. So let's get straight into it. So, Ruben, how's your day been so far, actually?
Yeah, my day's been all right. I mean, I start work at 12:30, so kind of just woken up. I wake up at
Yeah.
9 on the days I'm working. Um, but yeah, like I've been all right. Been quite busy, but I can do like a brief introduction about myself and everything. If you
Yeah,
don't
go,
mind. Yeah, for
go
sure.
ahead.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Rubin Poku. I am currently working at Amazon as a chartered management degree apprentice, meaning that I'm managing a team in logistics and delivery operations, rotating around the business in different business functions to assess processes and see where we can, improve. And on the other hand, I also work as one of the co-founders of the Black Apprentice Network, which we are a network organization creating a community for Black apprentices across the country, which we have around 700 to 800 current apprentices of all different industries, all different organizations from African and Caribbean descent. And then we also have aspiring apprentices, which we connect to our current apprentices, and we have over 1,500 of those. Like the number just keeps going up. We've been connected all over the UK, from London all the way to Glasgow, just making sure that students have opportunities to understand more about what apprentices experience, what apprenticeships can look like, what kind of projects they'll be working on, and as well as understand that people like us, from our background, even though we are not typically seen or represented in the media, there is spaces for us and opportunities for us, and kind of creating those opportunities with the brands and organizations that we work with, such as BT. So, yeah, special shout out
Yes,
to BT.
Rip
period.
BT. Let's go.
But yeah, that is absolutely amazing. And Ruben, the Black Apprentice Network was never like something that was always there, was it?
No, no, I feel like a lot of people, like when I tell them, I'm part of the Black Apprentice Network, they kind of just assume, okay, that's good, like something that's been there for a while, you've joined the
Mm.
network and everything. But then when they realize, like, me and two of my other friends are co-founders of the Black Apprentice Network, they're kind of shocked because we're quite young, and it sounds like something that's been there forever. But
Yeah.
it only, if there's a gap, you kind of have to fill it.
Yeah,
100%.
of course, 100%. But this is also open to like Shaz YouTube. But like, what are apprenticeship networks like to you? Like, why? Like, as you said, this was just founded. It wasn't something that's been here for ages, right? So like, why would you like open up an apprenticeship network? Like, what's the point?
To be honest with me, I think as we mentioned on the last episode as well, it just opens networking opportunities, doesn't it? You get to meet so many different amazing apprentices from different companies as well, and you can kind of see the scope what apprenticeships have to offer, and from that you can, for example, I know the Black Apprentice Network, you guys do events with BT and stuff like that as well. So you get the opportunity to go to different events, different networking opportunities, you know, all that amazing stuff, and you might not be able to get that without joining a network. So that's why I really think having or joining a network is very, very important for career growth.
Yeah, Ruben, how about you?
Yeah, I think a similar thing. Like the purpose of us making the Black Apprentice Network originally was just like a group chat of other Black apprentices in London, and then expanded to other areas, of course. But we were just hosting dinners and events to kind of get to know other people within the spaces that we were in. Especially coming from the community that we come from, there's not a lot of people within the corporate spaces, etc. making up like we make up like 3% of the population. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to connect with people who may understand our experiences and everything. And it was just fun. Like it was really just like apprentices don't have that much opportunity to have like a social like work-life balance
Yeah,
like compared to our university counterparts. So I kind of just wanted to meet whoever's having fun, whoever's lit. Let's go to a
Yeah.
dinner. Let's have some fun. But also like those type of interpersonal relationships do translate well into professional relationships. So it was a good opportunity to network.
100%. And also, like, I agree with what you both said. Like, for me, when I joined an apprentice network, I remember that there's obviously different apprentice networks. So the first one I joined
Mhm.
was AOA, and
Mhm.
that is the Organization of Apprenticeships, which is
Association
Association, yeah.
association.
of
That's association.
apprentices.
So I joined. So I joined my first network that I joined was AOA, which is Association of Apprentices, which is another network before the Black Apprentice Network. And I don't think they had that many events, and the events they had were more like talking about apprenticeships and stuff like that. But then when I joined the Black Apprentice Network, it was more like networking, getting to know your other peers and other people that like have the same similar experiences, similar
Mhm.
like doubts, similar challenges, to be honest, because we come with our own challenges. We each do.
Yeah.
Apprenticeships are not easy. I'll keep saying this, they're not easy, but if they're easy, everyone will be doing it, right? So it takes a lot of hard work. And I was like, when I found the Black Apprentice Network, um, that was the first event that we had. It was one of my favorite events, and it was just literally it was a sit down dinner. What I call it, dinner lunch. It was just a sit down meal. It was absolutely amazing. We were all just talking, getting to know each other, and I was like, I'm really liking this. It was more of a place like where all similar apprentices could meet and just talk about their experiences without feeling judged as well. So
Mhm.
that's what like all apprenticeship networks feel like to me. That especially the Black Apprentice Network, which is one of my favorites, and just joining events and going different places. And it doesn't always have to be corporate. That's what I like about it. Like sometimes we
Yeah.
literally just have fun. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
leading on to the benefits, which we kind of touched upon, but actually we've touched upon benefits, haven't we? So we can just move past that. But
To be honest, if I
uh,
just quickly add one thing as well about like just joining a network and everything as well, it's just touching on what you said as well, Friday. It's just the fact that you feel a sense of like what you said, a sense of belonging a little bit, and you're more comfortable
yeah,
as well because like I mentioned in the last episode as well, when you join this big corporate environment, for example, a lot of us come straight from college or from university or from school, and this corporate environment's very, very different. Like for example, when I first started, one thing I had to fix was like slang. For example, I had a very like
Mm.
the dialect was my
yeah,
Brummie accent and all that slang was coming out as I was in the office. So that was something I had to fix. But obviously, joining these apprentice networks and finding people who are like-minded, it helps you bridge that gap a bit more, I'd say, because there are people who will go through the exact same struggles you're facing. There are people who they're apprentices as well. They've just finished school, and you feel that kind of you can start to form friendships and stuff along the way, which is really good with networks because then you can use each other to build yourself up 100%.
yeah. And as I said, they don't always have to be corporate. So when like I remember I actually just got asked this question on my TikTok. They were like, "Oh, how's your social life and how's your work-life balance and all that stuff?" And I was like, "It's really good," and that's thanks to the Black Apprentice Network because the events I go to. The last event I went to, we went bowling. We went
Yeah.
bowling. We had a little. It was like a cinema room, but we were just playing music to be honest. And we had pool tables, PS5s, and that was just us connecting all apprentices in. It was a West Midlands event. We also do events like everywhere, but it was just fun and it was a good way to like connect and just have a nice social life because again, for me, I think it fills that kind of gap of missing when you get in university because obviously when you go to university you meet like your friends and stuff,
Yeah.
whereas when you come to the office it's all work like corporate. You're with employees. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, let's go out for fun in the middle of the day. You're there to work because that's going to be suspicious.
Yeah.
That's what. It's
Yeah.
But
a bit suspicious.
you're trying to say we're not friends?
I didn't
Your
say
colleagues.
that. Apart from Shaz, Jill, Rubin, of course, but like other employees that have been here for God 20 plus years,
Yeah, I get you.
like it's not going to be the same. You cannot tell me that Shaz, what's his name? Trying to think some, you know who I'm not going to mention names.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me that the people on our floor that you can just link up with. Do you know what I mean? It's not going
Yeah,
to happen.
it's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because like the same age group, similar like kind of interests and stuff as well. When I get what you mean, when you go to university, like they're all. I guess you can get some like older brothers going to university as well, but like obviously you've got you've got more similar people in networks as well. I'd say.
Yeah,
yeah, literally.
100%. I feel like that's one of them. Like that's one of the benefits of university that we were kind of trying to bridge the gap of, because with
Yeah,
universities you have societies, you have different groups that you can kind of join to share your hobbies and interests. And to us, it was like, for example, universities have ACSs, which are African Caribbean societies, where
Yeah.
they have like a lot of events and they do a bit of career development depending on what university you go to. And we wanted to be the equivalent because organizations do have employee resource groups where you can kind of engage with, you know, the company and people from your background. But we wanted to create that for all organizations, kind of like an
yeah,
external employee
Yeah.
resource group where everybody can kind of come to our events, get to know people from different companies, learn a few things here and there, and as well as just build those personal and professional relationships. I think relationships is the most important thing that comes out of it. So I'm happy with the way it turned out. Like we did have the bowling in West Midlands. I wasn't able to come, but I know we had the barbecue a couple weeks ago,
I
which you missed.
know.
Which
I
you
know.
missed. It was amazing. It was actually amazing. So
I
yeah,
saw. I'm gutted. Honestly, I'm really, really gutted. But
uh,
hopefully, fingers crossed, the next two events that I know about, don't even know if
yeah,
I can
yeah,
mention
yeah,
them yet. But
yeah,
I'm hoping to be there. So.
To be honest,
for
I have
sure.
seen your guys' events and they do look kind of. I've seen them on TikTok and stuff. I think they look lit as hell. Like I've seen like the
Thank you, thank you,
bowling.
thank you.
I think I've seen There's loads of stuff you guys didn't you have like you had like a little party thing as well. Like
Yeah, I think that outside the barbecue, we
Yeah, that
also
was a
had like
barbecue.
yeah, that
Black
looked good
History
as well.
Month Day, where we went to Linklaters. We were grateful that they were able to host us. We did like trivia. We did a couple games there. We did like some. We had senior leaders in large firms kind of talk to our members to give them advice and everything. But
Amazing.
honestly, I always enjoy our events. But I'm biased. I'm one of the co-founders. So
No, but
yeah,
they do look good, 100%. Yeah, and
I appreciate it, man.
again, it just adds to that, just helping apprentices feel like a sense of belonging as well. Because
Facts.
corporate, it's not all just like super serious all the time. You can have a laugh and a joke. You can meet good people. You can meet friends. And I think with the
100%.
events with the events you're doing, like the barbecue and the bowling stuff like that, it helps create that sense of
Mm,
belonging that much more, doesn't it? So yeah, 100%.
100%.
yeah. But moving on, because we could talk about this for ages. But as like we all know, the Black Apprentice Network isn't just for current apprentices; it's also for aspiring apprentices to gain that experience, right? So can you tell us more about like the networking events, career like type of fairs? It's not career fairs, but the things that you put on in the Black Apprentice Network that
Yes.
help the aspiring apprentices.
Yeah, so with the aspiring apprentices, like they were kind of the second edition. We didn't actually like creating the Black Apprentice Network was primarily for current apprentices, and like it was fun. But when we started getting like messages saying, "Oh, you guys created the Black Apprentice Network. Is there anything for people who want to become apprentices? Is there anybody I can ask questions, etc., etc." We kind of it only made sense, and from there it was kind of like rocket fuel. Like we went from having like a group chat of 40 people to having 2,000 members across the country, just because aspiring apprentices are hungry, like they know what they want.
Yeah,
And I would say to actually get an apprenticeship, you have to want it a lot. Like you have to be willing to
yeah,
apply, you have to be willing to network and connect.
Yeah.
So our first event, like official event, was at one bulge bracket bank, and we were able to host like 100 people, current apprentices and aspiring apprentices, allowing them to network and mingle among each other, so that they could build those professional relationships. And we had then a couple senior leaders in the room here and there that they could network with as well. and that formula kind of just made sense because the vibes were like unmatched. I remember the first time when we hosted that event, we were like, this is the best networking event we've ever been to, hands down, and we're happy that we were the ones that were able to host it. um we you had Afro beats playing in the background, you had people laughing here and there, but they're talking about professional things, they're talking about like things that they've been through, etc. And honestly, we kind of try and keep that formula going. Like whether we do just aspiring apprentice events or current apprentice events, we try and make it as personal but as what do you call it, helpful as possible.
Yeah.
So we work with different brands. We've worked with Accenture. We've worked with BT. We're currently working with BT as well. Norton Rose Fulbright and a bunch of other organizations to kind of boost what apprenticeships they have by inviting students into the offices, allowing them to see the scale and magnitude of projects that they may be working on in the future, see the office, see what type of people they'll be meeting and working with in the future, as well as let them tap into the early careers team at that organization. So we invite early careers professionals within the organization to talk to
Nice.
our members. And yeah, like that formula usually works because people want it that bad. If they're put in this space, they will leverage it. We have presentations going on at the same time. And like our largest event uh, was our Black Leaders of the Future event at Vue Cinema in Leicester Square, and we had like over 300 students, almost like we had too
It
many
was a lot.
students. We had
Yeah, I
a
think I
lot of
saw that
students.
one
Like
as
we
well.
had
Yeah, yeah,
students
yeah.
bring in their friends, and
Yeah.
it was an amazing event. Like the employers enjoyed it, and everybody enjoyed it so far. So it was an amazing opportunity, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get through half like the other side of the room without being summoned by another like aspiring apprentice. I was like, oh wow! Like you can't even see when that room was packed. It was actually one of the best events. I really enjoyed it. So. Oh, Rubin.
Sorry, realized I was on mute. Yeah,
No
yeah.
worries.
But yeah, so what like with all these so with all these networks, like how would someone who's joined a network or who's a member of a network make the most out of being in it? Like how would you make the most out of being part of any network, not just the Black Apprentice Network? Is it part?
I would say, like any apprentice network, you need to you need to just leverage your presence. Like I think it's just showing
Yeah,
up as
yeah.
much as possible. I feel like a lot of people assume like you can come to one event, network once, and you'll be all right. And or like they assume that like they can just show up in general consistently and like not really do anything and just intake knowledge. But the best knowledge you can take is from the people you meet, whether that's your peers or somebody more
Yeah.
senior than you, and sometimes even people younger than you. Like I've had a few students genuinely like give me advice, like, and that's me being honest. Like I was talking to a student from another network that I'm part of called the Amos Bursary, and his name is Ife, and he was telling me, like, he asked me, oh, like, Ruben, what do you do? And I said, like, I'm an apprentice, I work at this company. I'm also one of the co-founders of the Black Apprentice Network. But he said, no, like, what do you do outside of that? And I was like, oh, like, bro, I don't like I don't really do anything, bro. But then he was like, nah, don't let yourself be like just a person that focuses on careers. Like, definitely get your hobbies, because one of his fears was getting into corporate and then losing all his hobbies and stuff like that. From that point on, like I really thought about that when I got home. I was like, how can a younger G check me like this? Like, I'm really thinking,
It's true, yeah, it's
I'm
true.
really,
Yeah.
really thinking,
It was
what am I
deep in
doing
it.
with
You're
my
like,
life?
wow, what do I
Yeah.
do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just like one of the benefits, because you're just surrounded by people who really want not just excellence within their career, but within their life. And
Yeah.
those type of people will elevate you regardless of what age they are or what space they're in. You can learn a lot from them. And I would say ask questions. Uh, Asking questions is the most important thing. Like, especially with elders, when you have somebody more senior than you, they I've rarely ever met anybody that didn't want to impart some knowledge. Like, I feel like even me, I'm reaching that age where when somebody who's 16, 17 asks me like even a small question, suddenly I'm going on for like I'm rambling. I'm talking about
Yeah.
you gotta get it right. you gotta get it right. You know, you gotta do this, this, and this. Like, I feel like an old head sometimes, but I feel like that's just one of the benefits of like age is wisdom, and then like with wisdom comes kindness, I hope.
Yeah,
And
100%.
typically we hope to pass that kind of thing down. So please do ask as many questions as you can to anybody and everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%, definitely.
100%.
And like, Fida, what you said there with how to get the most out of networks. So like, I'm part of a few networks as well, and what I've realized is similar to what Ruben said is yes, ask questions, but also put your skill set out to use and leverage that. Because for example,
Mm.
the network might need something, like the network might need someone who's like good at running events, or someone who's good at building a website, all these kinds of things. Let your skills be known, kind of thing. Tell them that, okay, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, is there anything you want me to help out with? And then that will firstly help you with the network. Secondly, it'll build your skills, and it might even allow you to build your hobbies. Let's say you like building websites, something like that. If you want to do that on the side, or if you want to do any events management in the side, that will help you build that skill set alongside building your presence in the network as well.
You're talking from experience, aren't you? Because you built that ASIN sites website.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, just to give an example in it, but
Fair
obviously,
enough.
yeah. But
Yeah, Shaz
there's
wants to
so many
flex
things that
on
go
it,
into it. Had to, man,
but
had
as you should.
to.
But yeah, I totally agree because with apprentice networks, you can't just again, you literally just can't show up. It goes back to our last episode when we were talking about networking. It's just bringing that back. You can't just go in and be like, oh yeah, I've attended, cool, I'm good, let me leave. The whole point of you going, even attending that event, there was some sort of interest there. I hope there was some sort of interest for you to even be going again out of your bed or getting out of your house to go to this event, and you're not going to network. Like the whole point is for you to speak to other people, speak to other like-minded people, speak to again senior leaders, get that like proper insight. Because let's say you need some type of advice. This goes back to like mentoring and stuff like that. You can do that just through networking as well. So you can
Yeah,
gain those different networks, gain those different relationships within apprentice networks. That's what I think, anyways. Because even with like hobbies, because as I said, with especially with I keep saying this, but with the Black Apprentice Network, you guys, I don't think you understand how much I enjoy this network because it's not just corporate. Like, yes, we do corporate things, and the corporate things we do are absolutely amazing. Because the last event I went to was the View Leicester Square one, and it was absolutely amazing. That was with young professionals, absolutely amazing. But there's also that sense of like you being able to be yourself, right? That sense of belonging, as I said. So there's someone in the network who I met actually at an event, and then I continue to speak to, obviously, as within the group chat that we have with the Black Apprentice Network, and we were talking about how hobby of horse riding, and I never knew because whenever I say to someone a horse ride, they're like, that is such a like it's not a known thing for like a normal person to
Every
do.
time you say it, I'm shocked though. Like every time I forget and I'm like, oh yeah, you horse ride. Damn, like
Yeah,
Jesus.
but
Yeah.
to me, it's just like I'm not gonna say it's normal, but like that's how I grew up doing this. I'm just like, oh yeah,
yeah,
it's cool. But
yeah,
whenever I say it to anyone else, they're like, sorry, what? But I enjoy it. It's something I love to do. So I told when within the group chat, I was saying, oh yeah, I'm horse riding and stuff like that. And Grace, Grace, she popped up. She was like, oh my gosh, she horse rides, and she doesn't live that far away from me in Birmingham. And now we're already talking about us going horse riding together. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can still
Yeah.
do
There
your
you go.
hobbies,
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
can even do it with other people, like, and make that friendship. You know what I mean? So I'm, I can't wait for my horse riding session with Grace later. So
Yeah, no, there's even somebody in the group chat, Joyce, who does like gliding, which is like flying planes. And I was just like, oh damn, like people really have
yeah,
creative hobbies, like, and especially I think one of the things you kind of benefit from going into a network organization, especially one that's to do with like people from your background, is you understand even though people are from your background, they have completely different experiences and
Yeah,
different like you realize that I remember during like the Black Lives Matter movement, there was the saying that black people are not a monolith, and it kind of like became like a main common phrase now. And I realized that more when I surrounded myself with people within the community. I feel like any community you're in, there's going to be a lot of assumptions you have that we all have similar experiences, we all do similar things, but you realize like people do all sorts of things when you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
looking, or all sorts of like things that you wouldn't even think that were possible. So yeah.
100%. Yeah. definitely.
Yeah. But with all the networks again, like, why would you recommend an apprentice join one? Like, what opportunities can they actually gain from it? Even aspiring apprentices, why would you actually recommend for them to join a network?
See, I'm gonna do a shameless plug here and just talk about like initiatives we've done. So
Yeah.
we've done like mock assessment centers in the past, which really have helped students get into understanding how assessment centers will be, get some practice in, meet people from companies where they want to work. Like my little brother done jumped onto the mock assessment center. He wants to do real estate, and he met there's one real estate tick. I'm trying to remember her name. She's amazing. She's real estate apprentice TikToker. I know the name will come to me in a couple minutes, and I'll just blur it out. But she was hosting our real estate mock assessment center, and it really did help my brother, who's like going on to like do real estate internship before he tries to get an apprenticeship next year. And like those type of initiatives where we do mock interviews, we do like CV assessments where like we had like 100 students sending their CVs. We looked over their CVs, gave them advice, gave them tips on what they could do to improve their CVs. Then the events that we host at partner offices where you can get to know the early careers team and kind of network within the organization will be really helpful. Then we have our things that we do specifically with partners, like for example, with BT, we're doing a Dragon's Den pitch opportunity
Ooh.
where students have to create a presentation based on technology and community to
Mm.
to basically compete for the opportunity to do an in-person work experience project. A lot of the students are enjoying that. I would say like they're loving the opportunity and they're
Yeah.
learning so much from it. Like it's especially at this time, like where students are at school. I'm surprised that even this many students wanted to come. Even like a lot of them have work experience and are like forcing themselves to be able to attend. So I think, yeah, like wherever you create the opportunity, students will come. And we're hoping in the next few years to just like expand and expand across like the United Kingdom, where we've been trying to do events in the Midlands a lot more. We've been trying to do events in North England and possibly like you might see later down the line, like Dublin, Glasgow, all that kind of stuff. But for now,
There it is.
we're trying our best.
Going global.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
global
that's the thing.
potentially.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
global.
And like
Yeah,
you
I want to see apprenticeships become a global thing as well. So that
yeah,
would be
definitely,
amazing.
100%. And like you know what you said
Yeah.
there about opportunities. I think that's a big one for me as well because like from experience as well. Like when I joined Ace Insights, um, for example, I created the website. I never knew I would be able to create a website like to that level. Like I was shocked with my own ability because like you never know unless you give it a try. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
these networks will give you those opportunities. And another example is just for example what I did was video editing like with CapCut on for like TikToks and stuff for Ace Insights. I didn't know I was able to do that as well, so like you
Fair
know
enough.
having those opportunities in place, it gives you the chance to see what you're really good at as well, and gives you the chance to leverage your skill set as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Like, so off topic, but this podcast is meant to be like um free, and I'm out here wearing a blazer because I'm in the office, guys. So don't come. Guys, this is a chill space, and I'm out here wearing blazers, even though it's a professional podcast. Let's take the blazer off. I feel better. Yeah, because I am in the office. That's why. But yeah, see, I feel better. Less, more like strict. You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah,
interviewing you guys.
yeah. No,
Same.
I
I'm
feel like
doing
an
this.
interview out
I'm
here.
wearing hoodies in the office
Yeah,
sometimes, so
fair enough. I feel like technology, you guys get it easy. Like I remember when I worked in law, it was suits every single day. Like I was tired of going into the office. Like, I
yeah.
would avoid it.
Really?
But yeah, now that I work in operations, like logistics and stuff, it really does not matter what I wear. Like I can wear an entire tracksuit because I'm working in a delivery
Yeah,
station,
yeah, yeah.
so it's not too strict.
I've calmed down a bit with the hoodies, like ever since I've seen like people like Fider like dressing up and everything. I felt proper out of place. I'm like, I need to pattern up, you know what I mean? So I stopped wearing
Yeah,
hoodies.
no, I hear it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Shaz would just turn up in a hoodie almost every day. But he looked comfortable. I can't lie, I was jealous because
Oh,
you
it's
guys
comfortable.
have it easy. Men have it way easier than the women in the
Yeah,
office.
we were
Because,
talking about this
Fair enough.
in terms of clothing. Like, I feel like women have a lot more options as well. But we're going on a tangent, aren't we?
Yeah. Distracted.
Yeah.
yeah, we see that. But anyways, um, what like, as you're the co-founder of the Black Apprentice Network, what were like some of the challenges that you faced when like setting it up or like with apprentices?
Okay, like I think one of the okay. I think one of the
Oh,
personal challenges that we face. Now I was just trying to think because I can't like I usually think of the good things, like, but the one of the
mm,
main things that I would say is just like time management. Like it's incredibly difficult to do something outside of your apprenticeship on
Yeah.
top of like studying, working, trying to survive, having a social life.
yeah,
You know,
everything
do
else.
you get what I'm saying? And then like
Yeah.
running a network organization of 2,000 people and trying to like keep in contact and then
Mm,
run programs and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I would say like time management, even especially now, like working in a really busy industry, really busy company. Like I'm trying to figure out how to manage my time better. And reply to messages and emails quicker. Like
mm.
anybody who messages me knows that like I'm sorry, there's just no way that I'll be able to get back unless you follow
Yeah,
up.
don't. you,
I'm so
your
sorry.
side
I'm
has are
so sorry.
terrible.
Yeah, because to me it's like if it's urgent, if it's urgent,
Wow.
you'll message me again.
So that's
'Cause
women telling me my messages aren't important, basically.
no, because even I'm telling you, even if it's my mum, she will have to follow up because I'm sorry, like there's so much
Oh,
going on. This is what I'm trying to say. With time management, is very difficult when you're trying to do other things,
Yeah.
and I feel
mm,
like I'm so grateful for the people around me because a lot of them are very, very patient with how much I'm doing outside of like our friendship, so they understand that if they
mm.
message me, so like if my non-working friends message me during working day, they know I'm not replying. Like, there's just no way that I'm replying
Like
unless it's
Rubin's
Yeah.
urgent. Like,
busy.
yeah. I think the
Mm,
second thing is moderation. I think with the Black Apprentice Network or any network organization, there's always going to be like the aspect of as much as this is a comfortable space, there are certain things that should not be said in this space to make sure that it is a safe space for people
Definitely.
to feel
Yeah.
comfortable and everything. So like figuring out how to be moderators of the chat, moderators of people's experience and all of that kind of stuff. Like from an objective view, because like as co-founders, we need to try and be as like inside to make sure people are having fun, but outside to see what's going wrong and everything like that.
Yeah.
So just like making rules and enforcing those was like more difficult because most of the people in the group chat are our age. So having to message people, tell them what you said may not be appropriate, can we avoid like making such
mm.
statements in the group chat, or like we try and avoid being political, we try avoid
Yeah.
making like a lot of statements. So that kind of part was hard at one point. I think now, because a lot of people are professional anyway, they kind of understood it. I think, yeah, like we're at the end of that curve, to be honest. And yeah, I think also just like just going back to time management, I think
Mm.
communication, just making sure that I'm communicating with all the right people in the team as well as inside of the Black Apprentice Network, keeping up with people. I would say that's difficult. I would say that like um, people assume networking is easier than it is. You either assume it's hard because you're shy and don't really want to walk up to people, or you assume it's easy because you think that all you have to do is walk up to people and talk to them. But
Yeah.
it's the following up that's difficult, like making sure that after you have a convo, you have a chat, you ask them about their experiences, you like maybe set up a call within the next few weeks or meet them in person or do something with the fact
Yeah.
that you networked. Like networking
Yeah.
is not just another number on your LinkedIn that serves any purpose. And I feel like I started to realize this, I want to say like late last year, that I was amazing at making that initial hi, my name is etc. etc. We have a good conversation. I get your email, your LinkedIn, good vibes. But then when it came to the messaging after, when it came to the following up, I wasn't the best at that. So I'm trying to work on that
I need to
100%.
work on that as well, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's the hard part, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because I feel like once you made the conversation, once you broke the ice a little bit, you feel like that. like part of you just thinks that's it. I'm good now. Like I've done what I need to do, but that's not
Yeah,
the case, is it? It's like because to leverage, so obviously speak to people and obviously maybe get opportunities for them or whatnot, and like use that networking. You're gonna have to follow up to kind of learn more about them and
facts.
stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
100%, I agree with that.
So what were like the ways that you were actually able to like overcome all of these, especially with the amount of people in the network? Because you have the aspiring people, apprentices, and then you've also got the current apprentices, and then you have everything else going on. You can't even reply to your mum. So like, how do you make time, and like, what do you actually do to overcome like all of this?
See, with the phrase "make time," it's like we. This is who said it? Molly May, I think it was like we all have the same 24 hours. You can't add any more hours to the day. Like it's so hard. But no, really and truly, it's just like having a calendar really helped me. Like before, I just be like hope and vibes. Like somebody told me we have a meeting at 3 p.m. tomorrow. I hope that I'll remember around 2:45 that I will come to that
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah,
But
yeah.
now it's very much no, like my calendar's there. I've got reminders. I've got people around me who are also going to that meeting. So having communication with those type of people, I think I don't want to say delegation. I want to say just working with an amazing team, like surrounding myself with amazing people from all different sorts of spaces. Sorry, there's a helicopter in the background. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. Um, but yeah, like
That's
working
fun.
with amazing people like Natasha, Tawana, Lamar, and anybody that's joined the team in the past or like has worked with even the co-founders. Like I'm so happy that I've been able to work with those people because like they feel for the weaknesses that I don't have. I'm very much a last minute emergency person. Like I'm the person that you want in a crisis, but not the person you want to plan something long term, not do something long term with. I can plan it, but I cannot do the step by step thing. I can do the very much, okay, let's do it now. That type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I feel like on the team there are people who are more long term and they may not be able to react to a crisis as well, where I'll fill in and stuff like that. And I feel like yeah, like I'm so blessed to have the team that I have, and I feel like that kind of thing, the obligation and the accountability part of having people check in on what you're doing and you checking on what they're doing and then having to explain why something wasn't completed is a large part of why I'm able to do what I do now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned the point on time management, and like whenever anyone mentions that, like I always laugh because like when you were saying that like you were saying you're a bit more spontaneous, like you do things like as you'd feel like I'm literally the same. Like you can ask Spider as well.
Yeah, that's just yeah.
I leave everything. I won't even say last minute. I just do it when I want to do it type thing. Like when I feel like
Which is last minute.
yeah, I guess
You get what
in
I'm
most
saying?
in most
If you
cases
have motivation at 2 a.m., why would you waste that? Like, why are
exactly
people?
exactly
I don't
yeah yeah
have to
yeah
do it during that specific hour. Like, let me
exactly
do it when the energy is there.
exactly 100%. And it's
Yeah.
like what helped me a lot, like what you said, is like having a calendar or like a system in place. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie to you and say I use this system every day. I fill in all the boxes, all that. I don't, to be honest. Like, but it gives me like some at least some sort of a guideline to follow a little bit because
Mm,
before I would just kind of hope that it would be calm. Like I'd wake up and think, you know what, today's another day. Let's see what happens and just do it. You know what I mean? Like I just take every moment as it came, kind of thing. But with the system,
yeah.
like with the system in place, I kind of realized that you know what, I gotta get this done by this week. I gotta get it done by this time, etc., etc. And like what you said about a team as well. Like when I'm in the office, let's say I've got a uni deadline or something, or I've messed up on something. Like Fida and Joe, for example, who are my team, they'll tell me, Shaz, have you done this yet? Have you done that yet? I'm like, thank God for you guys, because if you didn't tell me, I'd be
No,
cooked. Do you know what I
honestly,
mean? So
honestly,
there's teamwork as well, which you mentioned earlier as well, which is definitely important. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like even for university, I wouldn't be able to survive like the degree part of my apprenticeship if it wasn't for people on my course. Because I'm the guy that puts a message in like 2 days before the assignment and said, "What are we doing right now?" And then just like starting on that day. And like, thank God that like I enjoy what I'm studying and I understand it. Because if not, I'd be finished. Like when I was doing law, I'd done the same thing, and I feel like with law, it's a lot more difficult to do
Yeah,
that and I increased the time that I asked them by 4 days. So like
yeah.
that's that was me making up for that. Um, But yeah, like I feel like the system makes sense. I think putting things on like an effort versus impact matrix, like if is this thing low effort, low impact, then like delegate. Like, but if
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
high impact, high effort, start now. If it's, you get what I'm saying, like that kind of
Mm.
matrix is very important.
yeah, yeah,
And I feel like it might be just, yeah, it depends on the person what kind of system you need to work
yeah.
on.
There's like a like that reminds me. There's like a big like concept theory type thing. It's called like eat the frog, basically. Like don't literally go eat
Mm.
a frog, but basically what it means is once you wake up, do the hardest thing in the day first, or like the most annoying thing in the first. Like I know you guys know about off the job logs, probably. Oh, they're like the most
Oh my
they're the
days.
So
most
talk about
annoying
that,
thing
please.
ever made. But I like sometimes I get into the office or like on my uni day, for example, and I'll just be like, you know what, I'm getting these logs done now because I cannot be bothered to do it later. That type of thing. Like it means getting the most annoying or hardest thing out of the way will free up your time and make you feel a bit more
Mm.
free as well. And you mentioned like earlier about like leaving uni last minute as well. I just wanted to bring up a funny example. I remember I left it last minute once, yeah, like really last minute. I ain't even gonna say how last minute it was because it's a bit embarrassing. But I was I was doing the assignment and I was thinking in my head for some reason that everyone else left it last minute too. So I wrote on the group chat like a massive like I wouldn't even say essay, but like a big message like motivating everyone, and they were like, "Shaz, we've already done it." I'm like, "Oh." So I'm like, I'm just motivating myself then, but it's calm, you know what I mean? But
I'm so dead. Man said, let's lock in, guys. We got it right now.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
the
yeah.
moment to shine. And everybody was like, what's
Yeah,
this guy
no,
talking about?
Shaz, we've done it, bro. I'm like, what?
it's already done.
Now
Yeah.
they're even worried about you because why is he having a psychotic break last minute? Like, what's going on?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
I swear you've done this a couple of times, Shaz,
Yeah, there was
because
one time where I think I messaged Joe. I messaged Joe, right, and it was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had a deadline, right. And I just started messaging and was like Joe, we got this, bro. Like we can do this. We can we're gonna smash it. Don't worry, bro. Like, cause I was in my head, I was thinking he hasn't done it either, but he did do it. So I was thinking we are gonna smash this. He didn't respond on it. I wake up. We go to work the next day. He goes, Shaz, I woke up to like 20 messages of yours trying to motivate me, bro. Like, what's going on? I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. I was just trying to cope the fact that I had the deadline due.
you were
But
just trying to sleep.
Oh,
yeah,
fair
exactly,
enough.
exactly.
Bro,
Yeah,
like I wish I had that mindset to motivate people. Like I'm the opposite. I'm the annoying guy that you'll see like, where do you find the assignment? Like, how do you submit this? Like
that's
in the
definitely me as
middle of
well.
like, do you get what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
2 a.m. The assignment is due at 12, and I'm just gonna message you like,
Wow.
how do we even do this right now? But I think that kind of thing works for some people.
yeah.
Like I would not suggest it. I would not even practice it
I
as a
wouldn't.
style.
Never, no, yeah.
But those who can do it,
They can pull
don't
it off.
do it.
Being Shaz.
But if you know it's a skill, who am I to stop you?
Yeah,
Who am I to
Yeah, I
stop
can't
you?
like.
because no,
Even though
because
Shaz does his thing last minute, he would always come out with like a really good score, even better than
Yeah,
ones that like have done it for ages or have been doing
yeah,
it for like weeks and months,
because
and then Shaz ends up with like a first. I'm like, how the hell?
yeah,
I've
you
man.
been
know what
That's
they
stressed
the way
about
say.
it
it
for
is.
months.
You know what they say.
That's the way it is.
You know what they say. Pressure creates diamonds. Like the more pressure you have,
Real,
the
Really?
real.
more pressure you
Speak
have,
on it, man.
Fair
Speak
enough.
on it.
the more pressure you have, like it just kind of forces you to do the best you can, kind of thing.
Exactly,
Yeah, but
exactly. And
again, it's
and
like
you only really care about it when it's needed, honestly.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Wow. I don't. Yeah, guys, this is definitely you guys in because I have great time management
No,
and
this is
I
toxic
get my own
advice,
stuff.
guys. Don't
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
listen
Don't
to
follow
this if
this.
you're
Don't
listening
follow
to the
this. Don't.
podcast. Yeah.
Have good time management. 'Cause I remember during one of our interviews of actually getting this job, there was like a question about like your kind of like your time management and stuff. And I said,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a calendar which I write about like my daily, like hour by hour what I'm doing. Because I remember it was the time I did the assessment center. It was the week of like not the week, the month of July and August.
Mm.
My birthday's in August, so this was a very very busy. And I actually did write a, like hour by hour calendar because again I'm an extrovert, so I make plans with everybody. And my July and August were forward back to back to back.
Yeah, finish.
You go on
Yeah.
meetings all day.
So
My social
I
battery's
have to have a
finished by like
calendar.
12 o'clock. I'm done.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Like people think of like I can talk, innit? But like when it's meetings on Teams, That's just you've got
Yeah.
to put your camera on as well. You know what I mean? Like Friday can do it all
No,
day. So hats off, hats off.
no, I'm an extrovert as well. I don't mind doing that, but I do feel like it stops people from getting work done. I feel like
Yeah,
meetings. Thank God in logistics we don't have many meetings. Like we just have to get shit done right now.
Mhm.
Uh, we like if I had to do meetings back to back, I would get nothing done because I could yap for days. I will keep this meeting
yeah,
going on till
same.
tomorrow if I could. But yeah,
Yeah, no, we all could.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like I'm the same. Like
But
with
getting
meetings,
back
I
to
just yap.
topic, because again, we're going off topic, guys. We're going off topic.
We're yapping literally. We just proved our own point.
Nah, literally proving the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But any tips for like apprentices that want to join any network?
I would say be comfortable just sharing who you are, like being authentic. And I feel like a lot of people they assume what other people want to hear and then instantly try and like
Mm.
compensate. Uh, um, and I feel like that's kind of dangerous because you kind of lose your identity within the community where you should have felt safe anyway.
Yeah.
One of the other things is just being patient with yourself in spaces where there's a lot of excellence and a lot of like people succeeding. Like look at LinkedIn, somebody will like walk their dog and say like I'm the logistics manager of animal movement and etc etc, but like really and truly all they done was walk a dog. And I feel like you just need to understand that like seeing that somebody's doing something great doesn't shouldn't challenge your own internal perception about yourself.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like understanding that those type of things should push you. I remember when I heard somebody graduate, and this was like last week, and I heard they graduated from university. They finished Cambridge and everything, and this is somebody I know, and he's graduated. He's earning like 150K, working in a private equity firm,
Right.
etc. etc. And like my first reaction is I clenched my fist in a ball, and I just was like, I can't lie, jealous. I was jealous. Let me be
Yeah.
so honest. But then it's like I think after a couple minutes, I was just like, what did he do right? Like I congratulated him. I was happy for him, but like, what did he do right to get into that space? And I feel
Mm.
like that I don't. I'm a person who is a proponent of allow yourself to feel negative emotions but don't become them. So if you
Yeah.
feel jealous, you feel angry, you feel any type of way,
Facts.
you can recognize that kind of thing and use that to your benefit. Like the fact that I felt like any sort of way was kind of motivation that I have to do
Exactly.
something amazing within the next, you know, it doesn't matter what time, but I have to do something amazing. Like it was just a drive to keep going forward. And I feel like network communities allow people to, you know, see other people doing amazing things and it pushes you. It kind of desensitizes you to a certain level of success. Like everything good will become your base standard because you expect that of yourself and you expect that of the people around you, and that kind of thing is really helpful. So I would say just make sure you do that. Network with the right people. Network with people you genuinely want to be around. And I think people need to be more shameless about friendships. Like I'll pop up to my friend because I'm the friend that like I will not message you for like months. Then I'll pop up to you. I'll be like, bro, I miss you, man. Like I'll be like the toxic ex that's popped up.
God,
Like you
that's
know,
you.
I haven't seen you in forever, bro. Like where you been, etc. etc. And I feel like people need to be more shameless with friendships and just accept that like friendships require a lot of patience and love. Even if they're like professional friendships, you just being authentic to yourself and being authentic with how much you actually like the person as a friend, it will be really helpful because people like being liked and people are afraid of showing that they like people, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that kind of thing, whether you're in a professional space, just saying like, even if it's like yesterday I went to an event, um and I hadn't seen one of my friends that I went to New York with last year. Like we stayed together for a month and we like developed a close friendship. After the event that I saw him in at yesterday, I just sent him a message and I was just like giving him his flowers. And everybody knows I'm a hater, but like I have to give people their flowers when I can because it's important to kind of keep those personal relationship and professional relationships like alive, even if it's not every day. Like message them once you see them. Just say that it was nice seeing you. Hope I can see you again. What you done was amazing, etc., etc.
Yeah.
That's all the
No,
advice I have.
Yeah,
Like no one say you shouldn't have all these other emotions, right? Like as you said, like when you wanted to cleanse your fears, that you are a
Yeah.
bit like jealous a bit, which obviously we all get jealous feelings. Like we're all human beings, like we have feelings. I would hope we do, but
Yeah.
it's about learning from that. Because as you said, like he's making 150K. Oof, I wish I was making that. It's learning how
Crazy.
did you get there and keeping that 150K. It's what I could be doing 150K.
You get what I'm saying?
Anyway, anyways, but yeah, it's about learning from that, keeping that close friendship, like being able to network. Like, how did you get there? Any advice? Like, you learn from, again, you said you learn
yeah,
from someone younger than you. Like, you learn from anyone around you. So it's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, being negative, be like, oh, you're earning 150K, and like that's it. Like, oh, like F or bye. But
yeah,
no,
100%.
it's keeping it real. Like, how do you get there? Like, I want to be in that position or that. So,
Yeah.
no, that's really good.
And Ruben,
Yeah.
what you said as well about I guess individuality as well. I think that's very very true. Like having your own character is very important because like in life as well, like I was reading a book the other day, like called Atomic Habits, and that I'm still trying to finish it. Like
Mm.
I've been reading it for months, but one step at a time, I guess. And one thing I realized in that book, which I learned, was in life we imitate three types of people. We imitate the close, which are our friends. We imitate the many, which is like society, and then we imitate the powerful.
Mm.
But I guess a lot of people need to kind of get that conception out of their head a little bit as well, and start to be themselves. Because at the end of the day, without without your own character, like what real value are you bringing to the table? Because you're not bringing anything
Mm.
different, you're not bringing anything unique, and that's very very important as well. And you also mentioned like negative feelings as well, and how that can impact you. But and again, like what you said, um that you can use, like, I believe like you can use those emotions as energy, right? So you can use that as motivation. Like I'm gonna hit you with another quote.
Mm.
I feel like Shakespeare today. Like energy cannot be, what was it? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, can only be transferred, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
use all that energy and use it towards something productive. It might not even be like apprenticeship work, it could be anything, but use it to something that will help you. You know,
Thanks.
if you're annoyed, hit the gym. Like sometimes when I'm annoyed or angry, like what helps me sometimes is like getting work done. Like sometimes, like when I'm annoyed, I get the most work done in my whole life because like
Thanks.
all that energy just goes straight into one thing. And I think that's my personal advice as well. Like if you're feeling annoyed or let down, I think productivity really helps as well. But everyone has their own like way of dealing with it as well.
100%. 100%. I think as you said, like you imitate the many the people around you, especially. I think like you're the average of your five closest friends or
Yeah,
just the five closest people around you. And like seeing those type of people be disciplined and recognizing that nothing worth having is easy. And that's like my favorite quote. Those people are the ones that are going to push you the most. And I think that that's what's important about being in a community, not just a
yeah,
network community, but um, network community similar to run clubs. Just make it easier to meet people and meet the right people. So please do, join the Black Apprentice Network. We've got our website, yeah, which is
I'll link the in the description.
blackapprenticenetwork.com. Yeah, shameless plug towards the end, man. Because yeah,
I love that. You have to sell yourself. I remember actually know what happened. I and Shaz were on a BT panel event.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, we were on a BT panel event, and I think it was like a good 150 people. So like it was aspiring students, right? And I'm just like, yeah, guys. I was talking about networking and talking about like CV advice and interview advice, which is all true, right? But then I was
mm,
also like, yeah, we talk about this in our podcast, and I then put it in the link. I swear I put the link into the chat.
Literally, I remember I
I'm
was
like,
as you
everyone
talking.
click
should,
on
as
this
you
link.
should,
Yeah, I remember
as you should.
I was talking about I think like Fida was talking, then I was talking for a bit, and I saw like the little chat icon come up, so I thought someone was asking me a question. So I opened up the chat box, and Fida was like, "Yeah, guys, so just be sure to drop a sub to have a podcast." I was like, "You know what? I respect it. I respect it."
No, I love that, love that, love that.
You got to put your
But
name out
yeah, I
there, isn't it?
think yeah, I'm headed to work in a couple of minutes. So I've definitely enjoyed the podcast personally. I think you two are amazing. Are funny, very
Appreciate it.
very funny people, and yeah. So thank you so much for having me, though. Thank you
Amazing.
so
Thank you,
much.
Yeah,
Shaz. Thank you very
we're
much for
gonna wrap
joining, Ruben.
up,
It was a great episode today.
but thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it.
guys, co-founder of the Black Apprentice Network here. We do have two other people, Elijah and Percy, who are also part of the Black Apprentice Network, the co-founders. But we're just excited to have Rubin here today, so thank you very much. And I hope you all enjoyed today's episode on Pathway to Profession. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave comments. Guys, looking for the comments, looking for the feedback. Drop us a message, everything.
Okay. But thank you so much for having me once again. And you guys are amazing hosts. I want to see more of the podcast.
Amazing. Thanks,
You
Rubin.
will,
Appreciate
100%.
it.
More to come.
More to
Thank you.
come.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.